Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello civil engineers and welcome to Civil 53 Next. So you want to learn ETABS. Great choice. ETABS is one of the most powerful software tools for structural analysis and design. It's widely used by civil and structural engineers to design buildings from small residential houses to high-rise towers. With ETABS, you can analyze how loads like dead load, light load, wind, and earthquake affect your structure, design beams, columns, slabs, and walls according to international code, save time by automating calculation that would take hours if done by hand. Learning ETABS is important, so start outside your comfort zone now. ETABS makes you ready for companies, for challenges, for real projects. In this course, you will learn step by step. First, the basics, the program interface, and how to use. Second, modeling structures correctly. Third, running analysis and interpreting results. Every choice you make is a coin flip toward your future. Most people will fail to take action, but one decision can change everything. Subscribe now and start your journey with ETABS. Here we are. This is the ETABS icon. To start it, double click on it. So when you start ETABS for the first time, you will be greeted with this screen. Your previously opened project will be displayed over here, and if you want to start a fresh one, just click on New Model. Open existing model. If you have an ETABS project saved, you can open it here, but we are going to start a fresh one by clicking on New Model. A new window will appear, and this window called Model Initialization. Here you have initialization options. Use Saved User Default Settings. To know about it, you just hover the mouse on this icon. Or we can define it. This lets you load settings from a previous project. Use setting model from a model file. Over to this eye icon. Or you can say this copies settings from another ETABS model. But we are going to use or to select use built-in setting. This option gives you default setting. First, we will start with the display unit. ETABS offer three main types: US customary, units like feet, inches, pounds. Second, metric SI, standard metric, units like meters, newtons, pascals. And the third one, metric MKS, millimeters, kilonewton, kilograms, second. And we will be working with metric MMKS in this course. For the region default of materials, we will go with United States, which we will be using for this course. Steel section database. Keep the default one, steel design codes and concrete design code. We will work with the American codes in this course. Now click on OK. You will see the new model quick templates window. There are three main sections here: grid dimensions, story dimensions, and structural objects. First, we will start with the grid dimensions. In this section, you have two main options: uniform grid spacing, custom grid spacing. Uniform grid spacing. The grid lines are evenly spaced across your plan. Custom grid spacing. You can manually set spacing for each line if needed. What does that mean? Let me explain. First, we will start with the uniform grid spacing. As we can see here, we have the number of grid lines in X direction, number of grid lines in Y direction, the spacings of grids in X direction, and spacing of grids in Y direction. So let's go to AutoCAD. So here we are. As we can see, this is our grids: first grid, second grid, third grid, and fourth grid. And these grids are evenly spaced. As you can see, 3, 3, 3. This is in X direction, and this is our Y direction. As we can see, it's also the same 4 and 4. So how many number of grids do we have in X direction? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get back to ETABS. So number of grid lines in X direction is 4. Type 4. Now number of grid lines in Y direction, 1, 2, 3. So type here 3. Now space of grids in X direction. As we said, it's even space. It was written here 3, as you can see. And for the Y, let's see. So for X direction is 3, for Y direction is 4. Now, what does it mean by this? Specify grid labeling option. So click on it. Here you can specify the grid labeling. Means like for X grid, you can start with A or numbering it by 1. Let it be A, B, C, D. It's gonna be left to right. And if you want it to opposite, you can select this one. Same for the Y direction. You can change it 1 or make it A, B, C. It's up to you. But let it be as it is. And it's gonna be from bottom to top or top to bottom. Click on OK. But what if you need an equal spacing? Means like for this example, it was only 3 meters between each grid and 4 in Y direction. If the distance was unequal, what should you do? You will just go and select this custom grid spacing, and then you will click here on this edit grid data. Let's delete all of this. As we can see from here, rectangular grids, we have two options: as ordinates, as spacing. I will explain each one now. So first, let's delete all of this. Now we will start with the ordinates. Ordinates means cumulative, means you will start from 0 and then you will go like first grade, second, third, and so on. I'll show you now. So let's say this is our grades, first, second, third, fourth, and this is in y direction, in x direction. Okay, as we said, as ordinates, let's say this distance here is 4, 5, 6. So as we said, ordinates start with 0. So first grade is gonna be 0. Now we will enter the second value. Second value is gonna be 4. Third value, is it gonna be 5? No. Since we are using ordinates, and in ordinates we said it's cumulative, so 4 plus 5 is 9. So you will enter 9, and then you will go for the last value, which is 6. You won't enter 6, it's 9 plus 6, 15. So I hope you get it. This is how ordinates is working. Starting with 0 is compulsory, then you will enter the first value, then you will be adding like 5 plus 4, and then 6 plus 9, because like 4 plus 5, 9, then 9 plus 6, 15. This is how it works. But this way is a headache. So imagine that you get a number like 4.3 and this space was 5.6 and this was 6.9. It's gonna be a headache. So let's clear this and we will explain the second one, which is as spacing. As spacing means you enter the values directly, the spacing directs. Let's have an example. Here we have unequal grid spacing. As you can see here, it's 3.31, 2.9, 1.1, 2.8. So since we are going to use spacing, we will enter them directly. So the first value is 3.31, then 2.92. So now how many number of grids do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 numbers. So we will add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first value was 3.31. Then enter 2.92. Enter 1.11, 2.80. 1.11, 2.80, 0.96. 0.96, and the last value it should be 0. In spacing, last value is supposed to be 0. In ordinates, the first value should be 0. It's something compulsory, you have to add it. I'll show you why. So let's say this one wasn't there, we will delete this row. See, if we write here 0.5 for example, enter, then you come here, you should, so if we write here 0.96, this is wrong because we need to end it by 0. So add, so once you click on add, you see both values become 0. So 0.96 and this one is 0. As you can see here, the grids start appearing. Since we are working on X grid, that's why it's appearing on X direction only. Now we will work on grid on Y direction. So how many grids do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will enter 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first value was 4.78, 4.78, enter. 3.89, enter. 4.29, 4.29, enter. And then 3.41, 3.41, enter. Last value is supposed to be 0. Here we can see a grid ID. As you can see, name it A. Let's make it caps lock. Looks more better. A, B, C, D, E. And here is gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is our grids. Now, if you want to change the bubble size, since we are working on mm, let's make it like 1000 mm. Enter. As you can see, it becomes smaller, or even 5000. It becomes bigger. 500. Or small. We will keep it as it is. It was like 1050. And this one, if you want to change the color, it's up to you. And that's it for this window. Now if you just click on OK, the grids will be ready. Click on OK. Now as you can see, this is our uniform grid and this is our custom grids. One more thing I forgot to talk about it. It's always remember that we are entering the values in X direction, it's left to right. So it's going to be entered from left to right. And in Y direction, it's from bottom to top. It's always like this. Remember, just to make it more clear, we will get back to aided grid. These values are entered from left to right and that one from bottom to top. Here in Y direction, X direction. So that's it. Now let's talk about story dimensions. First, we will start with the number of stories. Number of stories, like if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 stories. So you count it like this. Let's say that you have basement. So basement is 1. Ground floor is second floor, like 1 floor. And then say like 3 replicated floors or typical floors. So it's gonna be 3. And the row, 1. So 1, 2, 5, 6. So here we will enter 6. It's up to you. Like, depends on the project. But I was just showing you how to count it. Like basement, ground floor, then typical 3 floors, so 1, 2, 3, and then the roof, 6. So the typical story height usually is 3 meters, floor to floor height. The bottom story height means the basement height. Let's imagine this is our building. So typical story height, like let's say this is 3 meters, 3 meters. But the first story height, which is like from the basement or the ground floor, is the first floor, like basement. if the height is 4 or 3, it's up to you. So you can write the value, which is this value on the ground, first value. And this is for the typical story heights, like first floor, second floor, third floor. And this is the floor on the ground or basement. So let's say it's also 3. And for structural objects, for now, we will just make it blank. Click on OK. And here we go. Welcome to the ETABS user interface. Before we talk about the user interface, let me explain one very important thing in ETABS. It usually happens, or most of the time, you won't get the tools bar. So what you have to do is just click on options and select this one, customize toolbars, and select all of them. As you can see now, the toolbars are showing with us. Click on OK. Now let's talk about it one by one. Now we will start talking about it. So first we will start with this one to refresh the window, this one to run analysis. These are viewing command, like to zoom in, zoom out, and this to fan, like to move in the working space. And this is like for 3D, and this is to show the set the plan view. Here to set the elevation. This is to move up and down between the stories. Here to set display options. And this part is very important because it will show you in which floor you are and the height of the floor, like it's on 18 meter. So let's say now we are on the ground floor. So as you can see, story 2, base 0, base 0. You should always concentrate here because when you do selects or anything, it's going to be appearing here. Now let's talk about this side. Here we have one story, global, and units. So one story means you will be working and editing only on one story. But if you have typical floors and you want to do the modification in all of them, select similar stories. But if you want to do the changes in all the stories, then select all stories. For now, keep it one story. One of the most important things in ETABS to set up the units. So from here, you can set up the unit. Click on it and select consistent units. Since we are working on meters, ton, and Celsius, click on OK. Now you have set up the units. Now let's talk about this. Define, here you can define any section, like material properties, section properties, and so on. We will be talking about it in the next lectures. Draw is to draw anything like column, slab, beam, walls, shear walls, car. You can draw it from here. Select is to select the objects you want. Assign, we use it to assign the loads, joints, and so on. Display is here we can show the loads, the results from this window. Now before ending this video, I want you to remember one thing. Remember that always these 7 steps for any project. It's systematic, you just have to follow these 7 steps. First, units. Second, file, which is the new model plus the code. Third, define. In define, you will define materials, sections, loads, load combinations. Then fourth, draw. Some people use draw and they like to draw on ETABS, and some people prefer to draw on AutoCAD and then make the XF files and import it to ETABS. We will be talking about both ways. 5th, assign, 6th, run, and then 7th, results. And that's it for today's video. We just explored how to start new model in ETABS and how to set up the basic grid system, which is the foundation for any structural project. In the next video, inshallah, we will move on to one of the most important parts of ETABS, the define menu. Here you will learn how to define materials, sections, loads, and load combinations, everything you need before modeling your structure. So make sure you don't miss it. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hit the bell icons so you get notified as soon as the next lesson is out. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video inshallah of Civil 53 next. Goodbye.